Hello, everyone out there in Twitch TV land. We are here at Waystone Games. We are the developers of Dawngate, a brand new MOBA from Waystone Games, published by Electronic Arts. I am Brad Pluto Ramey, the assistant community manager. Sitting next to me is Alex Gasti-Hetu, our lead systems designer. How are you today, Gasti?
I'm doing wonderful.
Doing wonderful. We've got some exciting tidbits to show people today, I think. If you guys haven't seen, we are making a few changes to the Dawngate map. That's a complete work in progress, right? How far away do you think this map is?
So this is something we want to get to the players as soon as possible, but we want to make sure we do it right. So I'd say this map, it's still at least, a month plus, potentially several months out, but it's something that, like I said, we want to make sure addresses all the problems that the community has voiced when we release it. So that's why we're showing it to you early, so that we can get feedback on it, make sure that we're, get it to a point where it does address everybody's concerns, and then release it. So.
Yeah, and we have some special announcement for you guys today as well. This is a map we've been testing probably for the past, how long, like 1 to 2 months internally?
Yeah, probably about that.
Okay,
sounds about right.
This is going to be the first time we're showing a 5v5 gameplay developer playtest on it today on the live stream. In addition to that, in the next patch, we will also be including a way for you guys to play on the brand new map. Completely work in progress again. Still artless pretty much. Doesn't have a lot of the art assets on it, so you can tell it's still rough. It's still being tested. But we want you guys to get your hands on it, be able to test it. Tell us what your feedback is, what the lanes are like. Gasti will explain all the subtle changes and stuff throughout the map as he's playing. But I'd like to drive real quick. So this is going to be the flow. The custom map will be available only in custom games, so you cannot matchmake into the custom map. So if you would like to play on this custom map in the next patch, you're going to hit Create Game, Gasti's Game. You don't have to name your game Gasti's Game, but if you would like to, oh my God, puppies, that's what you should name it. Skill level, and then right here is where you change. There's the Dawngate, which is the normal map you guys have been playing for the past 6 months, and then there's map work in progress, and when you hit create game, that'll take you to the lobby. 9 of your friends can join if they want, and you guys can play on the map V2 is what we're calling it kind of internally. But for now, we're going to jump into a 5v5 developer playtest on this new map. Gasti will be playing jungle, I believe.
Yep. So hopefully we have time to do 2 playtests, because I really want to show both the jungle perspective on the new map and the lane perspective on the new map. So we'll see if we have time for that. But game 1 is going to be from a jungle perspective. So I'm going to try to play Moya. That way I can show you guys what walls are jumpable in comparison to the previous map, since I know that's been a big request. So that'll be on the ticket for today's agenda. So yeah, if you didn't catch the kind of stream we did a couple Wednesdays ago, I believe, where I talked about the kind of goals behind the new map with our map designer Dale, then I'll give a quick TLDR. Basically, the current map has a few issues, which we've experienced internally, and the community has voiced to us as well. So this is kind of our attempt to address a lot of those concerns. We have things like the parasite fight feeling claustrophobic. We have things like the lanes feeling too short. We've introduced a difference between top and bottom lane to try to create a reason why you'd have, you'd take a particular comp to a particular lane, right? So we have a variety of things. We've changed the jungle layout. We've made it a little bit less claustrophobic, increased jungle routing areas a little bit in size. We've reduced the number of camps slightly so that we can make smaller camps kind of more important in compared to the buff camps. So buff camps are still the most important, but you shouldn't just ignore the smaller camps anymore. So there's a variety of changes with the map.
Now that is one thing that a lot of people ended up doing. There was a lot of emphasis on kind of counter jungling, taking the big buffs. You would get ahead in levels and you would kind of snowball that way. What has been done specifically to the jungle to make it such that those smaller camps are not equally important as the big camps, but still, what have you done to bring them back up to kind of the limelight? So
one of the issues was we had so many small camps that basically if we made them worth too much, a really, really quick jungler like Volek could just clear all of them on cooldown and he'd get too far ahead, right? That's the kind of the scenario you get where you have a level 7 jungler with level 3 laners, right? That's too big of a disparity. So we've reduced the total number of camps to put a top-end cap on the super, super quick junglers, how far ahead they can get.
Okay.
But for junglers that aren't just farming on cooldown, cooldown, that means stopping in, grabbing a camp here and there, counter jungling a camp from your opponent. It'll be worth more because the jungle is worth the same total amount of experience, roughly.
It's just condensed into those 3 camps.
It's just condensed into a slightly lower number of camps, and there's still a lot of camps out there. I think we had the Ugger section is the same, no camp removal there. Mushrooms have had 1 camp removed, so that's gone from 4 small camps to 3, and the fish have had 1 small camp removed, so that's gone from 3 camps to 2. So there's really only the removal of 2 camps across the entire,
but the XP
13
and gold
camps.
gain or Vim gain has not changed pretty much.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So taking small camps is basically slightly more worthwhile than it was before.
Okay.
In addition to that, the jungle layout has been improved just so that it's a little bit more fluid to just go from camp to camp. You don't have to go out of your way quite as often, which should just help general routing.
Okay, guys. So again, before we kind of jump into this playtest feat first, we do want to say this map is completely work in progress. All this kind of grayscale kind of stuff you see on the ground is not final by any means. There's no art, there's no grass, well, there is brush and stuff, but there's no real art to the map whatsoever because stuff is always subject to change. And like Ashley said, this map is probably at least month and a half out before it is officially kind of released. And anything could change too. That's why we, for the next patch, when you guys are able to not queue onto this map, but start a custom game with this map, we want you guys to give us as much feedback as possible. If you say, hey, I like how this top lane is a little bit longer. I like how there's 1 less jungle camp, for the mushrooms. I like how, you've made the small camps better. I like how you've done this and that. I like the 2 guardian bindings, blah, blah, blah. Please give us all the feedback you can because, this is your chance to pretty much directly influence kind of the direction that we go with the map, I would say. Because, nothing on here that you see is like final. We're not just saying, here's the new map, you guys can play on it, have fun with it. We're saying, help us make it, correct?
Yeah, for sure. And this is an area, the whole reason that we're showing you maps early, right? Like, not a lot of development companies would be like, hey, hello, entire community, take a look at our completely untextured, work in progress map.
Yeah.
We really are taking a different approach to development. We want to say, hey, you guys, can give us really, really valuable feedback, and you can give it to us early enough that we can incorporate those changes without, derailing our process. So that's why we're bringing it to you as early as possible here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely a new style, new approach to it, and we think it's the correct one. And we want you guys to help us develop this map and make it as amazing, as balanced, and as fun as possible. So we're doing the one of the 3 camps the mushrooms have, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and we're gonna get almost level 2. Is that what's gonna put us at halfway? It's about a quarter to level 2. Okay. You're gonna obviously hit level 2 off the big camp, but that's pretty much normal, I believe, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, what have you done with a lot of people nowadays in lane are sharing experience, and like 2 people are dinging level 2 off of a buff camp. Have we done anything to change that? Like Zyro looks like he's gonna take experience, or is that still kind of the norm?
So that's still the norm here currently.
Okay.
But that is, the experience tuning will be continued to get adjusted before it launches. So.
Gotcha. And if you guys do have any questions about the map or have any questions for Gassy, by all means, you may ask in chat. Just put a uppercase Q with a colon and phrase your question, and I will try to read it out as much as possible.
So you can see this is an area where there was a camp on the current live map. It's been reduced to just being another additional kind of traversal route on this map. This allows for this bottom jungle, or bottom lane rather, to have a slightly more difficult time being completely warded off as a result of that change.
Doing Dirty says, I watched Zyro SC play the other night. He made you look really good at Dawngate, Pluto. Awesome, good job. So basically, Scott not being good makes me look good. I'm okay with this. How do you personally feel about the Reddit post on the Guardian bindings? Have you seen that post yet?
I have seen that. In fact, I believe I posted in that.
Okay.
TLDR, where the reason we're showing it this early is so that we can get feedback on it, right? If the majority of the community does not want Guardian bindings for whatever reason, then we'll find a way to meet our goals in a different way. If it turns out working really well and people enjoy them, then we'll continue that in that direction. It's really why we're showing you guys maps early, right? Is nothing's off the table.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is the gameplay or kind of goal you're trying to satisfy with the inclusion of the Guardian bindings?
Withdraw. It is not our
Oh, one
You're in
second.
a hairy situation. Should be okay though. Oh, Gersada with a nice stun. Oh, damn.
The Guardian bindings are to help prevent the inability to close out games, basically in the late game. If at like the 45-minute mark, turtling is extremely effective. So the tier 4 bindings produce, when they're destroyed, there's two elements that help the late game turtling aspect. One, the Guardian has significantly less hit points. You can see up here compared to live, there's just far less hit points of the Guardian itself. This is because we've shifted a lot of the majority of its hit points
into the bindings.
Bindings. So, and these bindings don't regen, unlike the Guardian, right? In terms of their health bar, they will respawn after 5 minutes, but the damage you put on the binding itself until it's destroyed is persistent, unlike the Guardian. So that helps sieging the base area slightly more effective than before. In addition, when those bindings are destroyed, they produce a new type of Strider, which right now has no model. So we use a goat.
It's a gigantic goat.
And that also helps to close out games.
He's a little bit more, and I've talked to this to you about it earlier. I don't think on stream though, but Striders in our game are meant more to tank bindings, correct? Like they're not the siege minions that you see in League, for example, that deal extra damage to turrets. So these goats, I believe, they deal a bit of extra damage to bindings and turrets, correct?
Sort of. The Striders themselves, that green buff that the Striders give, that aura causes every minion that's within that aura radius to deal increased damage to structures.
Okay.
As well as to take reduced damage from AoE. So, but the problem is that unlike Dota or LoL, where damage is persistent because the structures do not have innate health regeneration, the Guardian has innate health generation. So if you go down here and you get a minion takes this guy down to like half health, it's like whatever, right? As long as it doesn't actually remove a health bar, then no harm, no foul. So that's been one of the problems, is that without that kind of concept of persistent progress against his health bar, it's made it very, very difficult for damage to stick.
Musan, do you need TPs to teleport back to base? And also, can you deny creep? So the denial question is answered down below in the FAQ. The TLDR for you is no, there is no denial in the game, but you can recall back to base. You do not need a scroll of town portal or anything of that nature. Should be able to catch up to him right here and take him out. Ooh.
Has been slain.
Unnecessary blink from Zyril, but that's okay. Good job, Zyril. Good job. Way to waste a 5-minute cooldown. I like your style. Let's see. Will there be anything to make Spirit Wells more effective late game, or are they remaining unchanged?
So that's a complicated answer. The short answer is no. The complicated answer is yes. Because Spirit Wells feel inconsequential in super late game, because as super late game everybody is maxed on items, and as a result, the fact that they only give you money, that's no longer useful, right? Exactly. So I think people have been requesting the fact that they want Spirit Wells to feel useful late game. My perspective on it is, and the community has had some excellent suggestions and a correct assessment of the problem there. My kind of look at it is, I would like to solve the issue. Okay. So that in a vacuum, I agree that there's a problem there, and I would like to solve the issue. My first attempt to kind of resolve that issue, I would like to do by hitting the issue from the other side. Instead of making Spirit Wells do something additional, I'd like to basically make it so that people cap out on items far less frequently. Like hitting max build should be a rare, exciting moment in like really epic long games. Okay. You should not hit a max exciting build consistently every game. If the rate that you can itemize is slowed down a little bit, then the relative economy impact of Spirit Wells will remain more relevant later and later into the game. Okay. So that's kind of our first attempt, right? Because right now you are able to get 6-item builds a little bit faster than we want, right? I mean, we've seen people hit destruction at like 6:30 on the game time. That is really fast, and the game is not really tuned around having that much power that early. So we want to try to do a couple things. We want to slow down the rate that you can get those items, but as part of the itemization rework, we want to make advanced and basic items more interesting. We're trying to get more interesting passives, push some of the passes closer to the advanced structure. So it won't be any more, we don't want to make it less interesting just because you're not able to get legendary items as quick. But that's how we're looking to solve that issue at first. Basically saying, hey, make advanced items more interesting, slow down the rate you get legendary items, make it so that I need to retreat, run away. Oh, I should have just turned around, but I killed Desecrator.
Lived. I can't believe that. He hit 6 right in the middle of that fight, and Ava Chief was able to use dibs and fly over and assist in that fight as well.
So basically we're saying that, yeah, Spirit Wells should feel more impactful late. we would like to try to solve that by not changing what they do fundamentally. We don't want to add another level of complexity to them, right? Their purpose is supposed to be economy. We don't really want to shift their focus away from economy. We just want to make that economy focus remain relevant into the late game.
Let's see. What is your approach to nerfing and buffing shifters? First of all, Shadows, they are called shapers in our game because I know you take a lot from your community, but a lot of people will call a shaper OP for no reason.
So we take the community as a indication that there is an issue. Basically, it's like a yellow flag, right? If everybody's complaining about a shaper, there's probably something wrong with that shaper. Now, what they're complaining about specifically may or may not be accurate, right? Because of the skill discrepancy, personal experience highlighting a particular issue or whatever, right? Like it could very well be that there is a particular issue with an item that ends up making a character super strong. So people may say, hey, this character is super OP, and the problem might actually be an item that's perched on that character 100% of the time, right? So we use the community as basically a very helpful kind of, test at saying, hey, where are problems? And that gives us a location of where we need to do a deep dive on telemetry, on, looking at people across all skill values, looking at all the itemization purchases across skill values for that shaper, etc. And based on all that information, that's what we try to take to determine, okay, what's the root of the reason why people on the community are talking about this particular shaper a lot.
So you use the community more as like a binary, like, is it broken or is it not? If it is, then we'll go deep and look at the telemetry, look at the data, look at everything we can to see why it is that way, correct?
Right.
Okay. Let's see. How many devs are working on this game? So Bionic Ryan, we have a team of about 35 plus people, 35 to 40 people working on Dawngate, and the game has been in development for about a year and a half to 2 years now. Nice kill right there. Is it just me, or are the binding radiuses bigger made in Quebec?
Just you.
Just you. So they're completely untouched?
Yep.
Okay.
We have widened the lanes and changed their positioning a little bit, but their radius is the same as it always is.
Yeah, I noticed there's definitely a bigger space between the binding and the wall right there. That used to be like an absolute tiny space that people would screw up pathing and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, we've made it so pathing is a little bit nicer there.
Dibs coming to the fight. Dibs on dibs.
Disengage.
Help Zyrule. Good blink, good blink. Okay, alright. I like where this is going. Never mind, I don't really, because that... Oh my god, Ava Chief is so tanky. So tanky.
An ally has been slain.
You guys are fighting over the spirit wall a little bit. This may have been a dubious decision on Gasty's part, or will he get out? Oh my god, the otter's so slippery. So slippery. What are you going to do? Moya? Moya jukes? Is that the Moya jukes?
No problem. Did we not kill Dibs though? We should have killed Dibs
didn't
there.
kill anyone.
Dibs at like 1 hit point. Come on.
You guys are the worst.
Come on.
Worst team ever.
Team.
So Jim Bob 406, why should we choose Dawngate over Dota 2, League, Han, etc.? We don't believe that you have to play one MOBA to exclusivity. We believe that you can play multiple different MOBAs and have it be okay. There are some people out there that want to get like Challenger in League or play professionally in Dota or what have you. And in that case, kind of an outlier, and you can dedicate all your time to that one MOBA. We understand. You may want to make a career out of it or something. But as MOBA fans ourselves, we feel like you have the propensity to be able to play different MOBAs. Some people may be limited by time, and if that's the case, then the one thing that I would play Dawngate over other games for is just because of the role system. I really enjoy it. So we have 4 roles that you're able to choose at the beginning of Shaper Select that dictate how you gain Vim over the course of the game. Tactician, for example, is a role that allows you to get bonus Vim, which is our resource, by being near dying lane minions and by harassing enemy Shapers. Gladiator is a farm-centric kind of every consecutive last hit you get +2 Vim up to a stacking of +30 Vim per last hit, but you have to do it in like a 10-second window. So if you're very good at farming, your Vim can skyrocket and be really incredible. Nice dance there. The Predator gets bonus Vim and experience for kills and assists, and the Hunter does bonus damage to jungle minions. They are healed by a percentage of the jungle minion's max health when it dies, and they also have a % chance to gain bonus Vim when a jungle minion dies. So We've made it such that gaining Vim is completely kind of shaper agnostic. So if you want to play Jungle Moya, which her kit is amazingly well designed for, you can play Hunter Moya. If you want to play a Tactician Moya, I've seen Mars Catarix play Tactician Moya and absolutely stomp people in lane. I've seen Predator Moya roaming with the jungler stomp people. I've seen Tactician Amaranth stomp. I've seen Predator Amaranth stomp. Hunter Amaranth, might be a bit dubious, but if you wanted to, you probably could. But that's I think the biggest thing that kind of separates us from other MOBAs. If you really do need that kind of separation. People are noticing that parasite. So what did we do to that parasite?
So we increased the general play area around them pretty significantly for two reasons. One, it's a little bit harder to cut it off entirely with just like 1 or 2 wards. And it also would remove some of the exploits, like being able to attack him out over the wall. And makes it so that it opens up his room so that we can basically have more fun with his encounter design. We have more room to dodge his abilities, fire off more abilities, etc.
Let's see. Oh, look, League of Legends. So pay monthly. This is a MOBA. MOBA is a genre. So you may see an isometric camera view and colorful, nice graphics, but this is Dawngate. If you actually take a look at it, you'll see that we have 2 lanes. We have 4 spirit wells in the corners. And then if you look under the hood even further, we do have the role system. We have 19 unique shapers in our game. We have a spellbook system that is completely unique to our own game. And the itemization system is completely Dawngate specific and not like any other MOBA that you'll find on the market. But if you would like to kind of look at it at a macro level and judge like that, by all means, that's your own prerogative. But I highly recommend you play the game and check it out. Watch the videos of it before you pass judgment.
So the people just joining in who are not in the Dawngate beta, what we're doing today is a little bit of a special thing. So in beta, the map is fully textured, fully arted, etc. Right? What you're seeing right now is an internal only build of one of our revisions to the map, which is why you see it with like temporary art and everything. Right? So this is a internal only, very early internal build that we are showing off a playtest to the community simply so that we can get people's feedback. Right? There are some questions from the community being like, hey, how does the new map play? What's the relative size difference? What walls are jumpable, etc. So we said, hey, we talked about the map. Let's go ahead and show it off in an internal developer playtest so that we can have the community be like, hey, I like this part. I don't like this part. I thought this part played well, etc. It simply gives us a greater amount of feedback earlier, which is only good, only good for us. So.
Madu and BG, as a beta tester, can I stream the game, create YouTube videos and stuff? Yes, of course. There's no NDA on the game, so stream away, make YouTube videos away. It's weird to say. Do anything you want with the game. As long as it's in the beta, you're allowed to talk about it, make videos about it, comment on it, do anything you'd like with it. Can I get a life-size Renzo delivered to my doorstep? So Project 554, as incredible as that would be, we don't have any plans for a life-size Renzo doll, although I will definitely talk to Miss Moneypenny about it, and hopefully we can get into development on one ASAP. Even though I feel like that would creep a lot of people out, I'm not gonna lie. Especially if you maybe he had like a movement sensor in his chest, and when you passed by him, he would say, "Haha, Renzo's nipples can cut glass." Every time, like one of those singing basses or something like that. Need a life-size golden Renzo, that would be good too. Renzo action figure would be good, absolutely. Are there more assassins like Kendra currently in development?
We have one of every archetype basically in development. So we'll be releasing more shapers very regularly to increase the diversity of the pool.
Are you going to? Chat's going a little bit too fast. We try to make Dawngate into an esport game, so MD Zinco, that answer is down below in the FAQ, but the TLDR of it is we believe that esports is something that has to happen organically. People have to want to play the game competitively for it to succeed in a competitive environment. So we're making every design decision and balance decision with competitive kind of in mind. But if people don't feel the need to play it competitively and want to get into a competitive scene, then we're not going to force anything like that. If it were to happen and it were to grow, we would love to support it though.
An enemy has been slain. Your team has captured
someone's been asking a few times. I can't quite. Oh, here it is. Syrian Jin? One of those. Will you be adding more basic items to the current 6?
It's certainly not off the table. We would want to have a really good reason to do it, though. The basic 6 are there basically to do 2 things. One, make it so that your initial decision choice is a little bit more flexible. You can be like, you don't have to decide on a very, very specific item. You can basically be like, I want something offensive, and then I can react to the game at hand, right? I can be like, oh, okay, turns out Nady Carry got fed, now I want to go for something that has armor, so I'll turn that offensive item into a hybrid offensive armor item, right? It lets you be reactive to the situation at hand. So keeping them relatively versatile is an important aspect of that goal. Additionally, it allows for us to make sure we have enough kind of distinct choices from that tree, right? So like the life drain tree is one of our, right now, smallest trees. It has like half the amount of content in it as, say, the power tree.
Yeah.
So if we were to add another tree, it would need to be something that's generalized enough to make sure we can have a lot of diverse and unique content within that tree.
Someone else asked, is it going to be translated to German? So we're open to localization of all different regions. However, right now, being this early in development, this is still just a few months into a closed beta. We're concentrating, completely on the build. No localization plans just yet, but where there is demand of localization, I'm sure we can get it to you eventually in the future. We don't want to bar any regions from playing and enjoying Dawngate, of course.
Whoa.
How many players are currently in the beta? Jim Bob 406. We're not currently talking about the metrics and numbers that we have in the beta right now. We're keeping that internal. Will destroyed bindings mess up the pathing around the Guardian / everywhere, or will they be able to be walked over? Maybe make them part of the structure so the footprint stays the same. Oh, there is a team fight. We'll get to that question in a second, Leslie. Nice. Oh, you didn't have Vanquish. Oh. You got it? Nice. What a beast. Alright, so you got Parasite.
Alright, we all died, but we got it, so that's, worth it.
One person with Parasite is better than no people with Parasite. Boom. Got it. So, what was the question? Muzzy was asking about pathing around destroyed bindings in the Guardian. Is that going to make it harder to kind of get around him and maneuver, or are they going to be like part of his structure that you can kind of walk over?
So they are physical things, so they are routable objects where there was before no routable objects. However, you can attack in a completely 360-degree cone around the Guardian, so you have plenty of space still to, beat him up.
To beat him up. To fight around him and stuff. How does the Parasite's leveling system work? So Sticky Buns, nice name. He is an evolving monster. He starts off in one stage with a few abilities, and he gives a global Vim boost to your team. Then he evolves into stages 2 and 3 at, I believe, 12 minutes and 20 minutes, correct?
Yep.
And then at those stages, not only does he get bigger visually, he gets more abilities added to his kit, so he becomes more raid bossy kind of at stage 3, where you have to dance around, dodge missiles, and dodge flame breath and all that kind of stuff. But then when he dies, he gives you not only the global Vim, but he also gives you a buff that gives you percentage HP regen and flat power buff as well. So he's almost like, if you want to have an analog to League of Legends, he's like a dragon that turns into a Baron Nashor or a Roshan. Who put the sword and the arrow in the money pig? That's just rude. Doing dirty. That was I think Luke put that in there when he made the money pigs. Oh, was that the greatest juke? Shh, be quiet. He might hear.
It's pretty much the greatest juke.
Did you juke the hell out of him?
Success.
I think Trevor's ankles are broken.
No problem.
I don't know if he can handle that. Let's see. Are there any thoughts about maybe reducing the power on minions early? I feel like they might influence trading just a little bit too much, says CBB692.
Minion damage is something that we can certainly be taking a look at. There's no plans to change it currently, but once, with the lanes being changed with the result of the new map, the lanes are wider, the lanes are longer, we'll be reevaluating all aspects of lanes based on the new change to the map, so.
What makes Dawngate a better esports game than other MOBAs? So Fallen Theum? I didn't quite catch that chat move too fast. So Fallen Thin? One of those. It's a completely subjective kind of question. If the community enjoys playing Dawngate in a competitive sense, which there are a few already community-run tournaments that pop up during the beta weekends, that will make it a great MOBA. As far as our strives to making it a great competitive MOBA. We're making design, balance, and shaper decisions and stuff with kind of competitive stuff in mind. People keep ask all the time, are you guys doing the kind of Dota thing where if everything is OP, then nothing is OP, or the League of Legends kind of individually balance different shapers? We're going more, I guess, towards a League of Legends thing where we aren't afraid to balance, individual shapers and their ratios and how they scale and such. I mean, is that fair to say, Gasty?
I mean, I think it's a combination of both. Like, Dota requires less individual character balancing because their power throughput comes a lot more from the unique ability to get items as opposed to having scaling abilities. So like just that systemic change requires us to have, since we have scaling abilities, we have a systemic requirement to basically have more individual character balancing. But additionally, we have the spellbook system, which this being a different build, that shows a subset of our spell content where we will have significantly more. In fact, internally we're already testing with a lot, which is hidden since we're streaming this particular build. That is basically the equivalent of what you may see on like activated items from Dota, right? It has a lot of very, very impactful abilities, which can influence the power of individual shapers pretty significantly. So we, in the same way Dota balances around a lot of their activated items, we balance around a lot of our spellbook content. And just like an activated item, I can like take, in fact, I'm going to do it right now, in fact. So I'm going to go back. These spells are like activated items, very, very powerful abilities, but not linked to stats. And you can, just like items, you can like sell them and get new ones, right? So like this Vanquish, I don't want anymore, drop it for 400 Vim, and instead I want to pick up Wither so I can help be more of a team fighting otter.
Yeah, I like that system a hell of a lot because a lot of junglers, a lot of hunters will take Vanquish early just to help them with their clear, just to help them with quickly counter jungling, all that kind of stuff. But once it becomes 25, 35, 40 minutes into the game, Vanquish isn't as important. Yeah, they can make for some cool parasite plays, either stealing or securing it. But at the same time, once the parasite's down, let's say, and it's still respawning, for 400 Vim, you can pick up a Wither, you can pick up a Stasis, you can pick up a Bastion, a Tailwind, a Deflect, anything of that nature, and be infinitely more useful in that now late game kind of team fight without having Vanquish. So I like that system a lot. Do you plan on adding an in-game replay / spectator feature with the release of the game? So Rifter, of course, that's what we want to implement that eventually. It's not like #1 on the development kind of priority list, however. And you say during the release, we don't particularly have an announced kind of release date right now. So we definitely want to do a replay or spectator kind of thing in the future, but just not high priority at the moment. Will you be selling a spell and rebuying if it resets its cooldown? No, it will not. So if you sell Blink when it's on a 5-minute cooldown, or whenever it's on cooldown and you buy it back, it will not reset the cooldown. It will keep the same cooldown. However, if you sell Blink on cooldown and buy Wither, Wither will not have a cooldown, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. Basically, the cooldown continues to get tracked even if it's
they're spell specific.
Right. Even if like you have it or not, the cooldown gets tracked. So selling it does not let you bypass the cooldown.
Can you stream this game when in beta? Of course, miserable. Stream away. Will you be implementing a leave or report system? Bionic Ryan? Yes. We definitely want to implement something of that nature to kind of weed out some bad or toxic players in the community. But we also aren't in the... we're still very early. It's not implemented yet, obviously. But we also believe that in addition to kind of either banning or being able to report toxic players and leavers and all that kind of stuff, we also believe in a reward system as well. It means that people that are doing good for the community should be able to show that they're doing good for the community and show that they're good members of the community, rather than the only people that really get talked about in the community are the people that either get banned or reported or AF or such like that. We don't believe only in punitive punishment. Well, that's kind of redundant, but we also believe in rewarding good players, pretty much.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, player behavior is something that's really important to us. So we're looking at basically introducing systems to both discourage toxic behavior and encourage positive behavior. So we'll have things like a report system for sure, right? And like we said on our monetization reveal, when Miss Moneypenny was on the stream, she hinted at the system where you'll get rewards after end of game, which can also be influenced based on if you were a positive player in that game or not. So we have a variety of systems, you know, planned on the horizon that will help to shape player behavior to make the game a really positive experience.
Yeah. Can you say anything about the next shaper in development? Sadly, we cannot. Leaf in USA 22. We apologize.
There is one.
There is
a next shaper in development. He's happening.
There is always. Oh, did you confirm that it was a he? Oh no.
Can't do it.
Actually, I don't know if it's a he.
It is.
Is it? Oh, okay. Confirmed. There you go.
Confirmed. There you go.
Boom.
I think so.
That's what it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Do. How much is the game's story going to play a part in the development? Oh man, I missed it. Are you going to try and introduce the game to new players? How are you going to try to introduce the game to new players? So the lore is very important to us. Every time we release a shaper, we also release big lore stories to give you guys the background on that. We also have a lot of plans for how the lore will kind of play out in the future. So we started the beta with 12 shapers, and now we're up to 19. So there are 7 pieces of lore out there for these 7 newly released shapers to the Dawn Gate, and we plan on kind of filling out that back catalog with lore-related stuff for the first initial 12 as well in the future. Oh, nice.
Has been slain.
Good job.
No problem. Suplexed.
No problem. God, get suplex, nerd.
Now I'll go take my victory pigs. That's a job well done.
Why I gotta walk all over? I'll do the job. Wait one.
How static are the lane setups?
So
Fishy.
for the role system that Pooh talked about earlier allows it to be pretty flexible. One of the reasons why like LoL has such a static meta and Dota does not, for example, has to do with the way that their characters scale. Basically, the fact if you scale with items increasing like ability damage, then the most important thing becomes maximizing your like gold effectively, right? You get more throughput by maximizing your gold. That becomes the most important thing. So when you have 4 sources of gold and 5 characters, you end up with 1 character in each source and then a 0 CS support, right? Dota takes it a little bit differently. They say, hey, we don't have character scale with, or we don't have ability scale with items. As a result, optimizing gold is not the most important thing. So you get the ability to have things like tri-lanes and supports that don't really care about their gold, etc., because they scale so well without it. We've done kind of a hybridized approach where we say, hey, we want characters to scale with items, right? We want abilities to scale so that anybody can end up carrying the game, right? Anybody can be that guy who goes 20 and 0 and gets the Omni kill. That's a really aspirational, fun thing. But we don't want the scenario where, as a result of scaling with items, it's a really rigid meta that's basically locked in place simply because of gold optimization. So what we've done with the role system is we've allowed multiple different, because it changes the way that your character earns money, it allows for multiple different combinations to all be mathematically equivalent in terms of gold efficiency. So you can run 2 junglers with, a solo lane and a dual lane, and that can be just as efficient as running, a tri-lane, a solo lane and jungler, or a dual lane and jungler, or 2 junglers, a predator counter jungling, and 2 solo lanes, right? All of those compositions are mathematically equivalent in terms of Vim efficiency because of the role system. So it allows for the flexibility of kind of lane setup to be really interesting. And then on top of that, what we've done with this map remake is we've made the top and bottom lane a little bit different. So you can see bottom lane here is kind of our dangerous lane. You have a gank access here, 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 and then you can bypass the ward here. So there's like 6 different avenues, where top lane, it's a little bit safer. You have, an entrance here, 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 and here. So from like 7 to 6 to 4 to 5, so it's just slightly easier to ward top lane. So we've introduced a little bit of asymmetry between the lanes to try to encourage different characters that to go to different lanes. So for example, Vex
Might be a better top lane than a bottom lane.
right, because he's a kind of a weak laner, but is a really strong late. Send him top with like a Renzo or somebody, protect him, let him farm really well to the late game, and that's kind of now a interesting strategy, which was not necessarily as possible on the previous map.
Again, guys, just reiterating, this map is completely work in progress that we're showing off in the developer playtest here. So if someone comes in and says, oh my god, this is the ugliest map I've ever seen, there are no art and textures and stuff on the map just yet, but there will be, of course, upon release, which is 1.5 to 2 months down the line, probably. Pick up that desecrator. Boom! Oh my god, you got blown up.
That's all Moya's for, you know. I take people into the sky, into the natural habitat of the otters.
And the sky is the natural habitat of the otters.
That's where they live. Take them up, take them to where my people need me, and then
slam them back down.
And slam them down, and then my job there is done.
Yeah. And then you just walk away, like a cool otter.
That's right.
You're getting hit by that leg guardian. Can we have a Pluto the Shaper? That would be pretty dope. I'll get dibs right on it.
So you can see the Guardian goes down significantly faster than before because his health was shifted onto those bindings.
Yeah, he definitely is dying quicker.
So we might be able to just win right here as a result of the fact that we annihilated them right on top of the Guardian, which is kind of a rare scenario. But you know, pro auto picking place, you gotta go pick up the tank. That's really what they teach you, right?
The most important part is
focus the tank, and then you win. So no problem.
He is a CC heavy beast.
All right, let's do it again. This time we're gonna jump into another game, and I would like to if everybody's around. Because I want to be able to show off the laning perspective as well. So that was the reason I played Moya that game was to show you guys kind of how the jungle looks. It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit less claustrophobic. Small camps are a little bit more important. There's lots of jumpable walls still. I know that was a concern previously, was that the fact that we widened some walls. It's still, you know, for mobile characters like Moya, it's still pretty easy to get around. This time around, I'm going to play in lane, so you guys can see how the longer lanes play out. See, you know, what's changed there.
You ordered a new Logitech G602 today because Pluto said so? Good. It's a great mouse. Great mouse. It's the one Gassie's using right now. How do you feel about it?
There you go. You know, it's nice. It's a good mouse.
You're not even in like gaming mode. Look. Oh, boom. Wait. Boom. Gaming mode.
Now it's blue. Apparently that means
that's gaming mode.
That's, you know, somehow it's superior for gaming now that it's in blue mode. I like it.
Will there be a multi-use beta key today? Yes, we will do a multi-use beta key at the end of the stream. So after this next game, we will do a large multi-use key. How big it will be is still up in the air. Dale, get back to your computer. Oh, damn it.
Okay, so we'll be starting the next game in a couple minutes. We have some time for some Q&A while we are waiting people to get ready to start up a second game. So if you have a question, make sure you do Q:question, and we'll see it.
You got 1,000 people that should be big? Yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something. We'll do a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger than a 5-use key.
We'll give you guys a treat. Yeah. Maybe a 6-use key.
Ooh, we'll do a 5-use key and a single-use key. Oh my God,
that's
so nice.
That's how we're that generous.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. 6 keys for 1,000 people. Boom.
No problem.
Yeah, you guys don't even know.
Perfect ratio.
We're dropping bombs on this. It'll be a 25-use key, calling it. Man, you don't give us enough credit. We have 1,000 right now. How does this differ from...
Wait until Dale gets back before... Yep.
Do you have an overview map for the new map? Do we? I don't think we have anything like that just yet.
We do not yet. We could probably get something like that together. We could probably take a render of it, but we don't have any yet.
Let's see. Let me open. 1 sec. Okay.
Oh, waiting. I'll go to the big cam.
You going to the big cam?
Going to the big cam.
Look how beautiful we are.
Boom. Now you guys can see us in our majesty.
Is that a Castle Crasher shirt?
Yeah.
Nice.
Castle Crashers is the shit.
It's a pretty good game. It's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. LoL is a very toxic community because of the champion select screen and system. How does Dongate handle the situation in hopes of not having such a toxic community? So Brumfield85, while we don't have any systems for reporting players and whatnot just yet, as far as a champion select screen or shaper select screen is concerned, we feel like the role system kind of alleviates a lot of that pressure. Yeah, you can hit
Jumping back in.
We feel as though the role system kind of alleviates a lot of that pressure because if someone comes in League and calls AD carry and instantly locks in Caitlyn or something, we have 2 gladiators in our game, which is kind of the farm-centric kind of similar role than that. And you can also play Gladiator as a mage. You can be a Finmore Gladiator. I've seen Finmore Gladiators do really well. I've seen range carry Gladiators do really well, obviously. I've seen Moya as a Gladiator do not terrible, but I think she's more suited for a Tactician, a Hunter, or a Predator, or something like that. So it's made it so that like the meta is very, very flexible in that respect. So my only kind of recommendation I would pretty much ever make is probably not have more than 2 Gladiators or more than like 3 Hunters, I would say.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty flexible. Basically, those are the only restrictions. So you probably don't want more
You
than
can,
two glads,
like, if you want to have 5 gladiators, by all means, have 5 gladiators. But at the same time, gladiators' role, Vim, is completely dependent on lane farm. And since there's only 2 lanes, you probably shouldn't have more than 1 gladiator per lane. As far as hunters are concerned, the jungle just isn't big enough for 3 hunters. You can have 2 hunters and have one primarily work on counter jungling. It's pretty dubious and can be dangerous, but it can be done. I've seen it definitely work before. And then 5 tacticians I've seen work, 5 predators I've seen work. There's many different combinations you can go in. You can pretty much go into a game, choose whatever shaper you want, choose whatever role you want, and it'll probably work with the team. Your LSU shirt is better. Thank you. I went to LSU. It's pretty cool school. Today, League of Legends announced a group finder mechanic. Thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on that, personally?
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, I know they're not doing it into their ranked mode, and so they're introducing another matchmaking bracket, which is going to split their matchmaking queue. So, I'm interested to see how it plays out.
So there's now going to be blind pick, draft pick, and this new queue system. So there's going to be 3 different.
I believe it's my understanding. I haven't looked too much into it, but I believe so.
Gotcha. Servers are in Chicago. Yes, absolutely. Do you plan to have item balancing reworks ready for the new map, or do you plan to release them separately? So where's Item Palooza in works?
Item Palooza will be released independently of the new map. They'll probably be close-ish, but we're looking to have the itemization rework out first.
Okay. Is there an MMR or brackets?
There is MMR in the game if you matchmake you're using an MMR.
When is this beta server going to be live again? You could probably expect Thursday through Sunday window again. If there's any changes or any big announcements, we usually do set those in stone and confirm them on Wednesdays on Twitter, which is twitter.com/thedawngate, and Facebook, which is facebook.com/thedawngate. Sorry, Titania, no links in chat. Standbot will automatically go ahead and kick you in the teeth. What's up, Buell? Buell's here.
What's up?
He's watching you play Vex. You better make him proud. You know he's a good Vex player.
It's true.
Farmer.
#1 Vex player, actually, probably. Oh, there goes Cal's sheep. It's gone.
I love that dance so much. The new dances are great. What is that? What is that noise? That's Cerulean's dance?
Minions have spawned.
Rub Vex's tummy?
I polish my coral with your tears.
Alright.
Down.
This is made of wood. I was cheated.
Run away.
Boom. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free. I have the same lag amount in Dawngate that I have on the PvE, but it surely doesn't feel that way. Why is Dawngate more responsive?
We have wizards instead of programmers who make our game.
Wizards. You heard it here first. Dawngate Wizards.
Runs on magic.
We do play a lot of Magic the Gathering, so I guess that's kind of
true. Yeah, but in all seriousness, we've spent a really long time hammering on our control code, making sure it's as smooth as possible. So I'm glad that our efforts are paying off. So.
Any plans or ideas you can share about the counter warding system? Any teases?
Nothing beyond the fact that we're still looking into it. We've tried a variety of things and nothing feels perfect. So it's something that it's working well enough right now that we don't want to introduce things until it really feels perfect. So we're working on it.
Pluto used to be a LoL pro player. I did not Dorito see him. I used to do interviews around the League of Legends pro scene, and I used to work for Curse, but not any longer. When do you plan to do an open beta? So we don't have a date set in stone as far as open beta is concerned. We do have ideas in mind that we would like to hit, cadences we would like to hit internally, but it's not something we're kind of announcing and saying, yes, open beta on this date. We're still working towards meeting our goals internally.
Somewhere.
It's going to come back around for us, probably.
Think so?
I think so.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. God, you're like a wizard, Gatsby.
Well, our game does run on magic.
You're tapping into that magic right now to see what's going on around the map. Okay, alright. That Reyna's so tanky. No more discipline though, so she can't put her shield back up. It does regen fairly quickly, but you could probably get some harass off while it's down. Or just get harassed and almost die. That works too. How does the double jungle meta feel on the new map? Is it better than the first map?
Yeah, because 1v2 lanes are more successful.
In the safe lane, pretty much.
Right.
Is a resizable mini map in the pipeline?
It's something we would like to do. We're not currently working on it, but it's something that down the line, that kind of polished feature would be something that we'd be doing.
For us who don't care about the game not being 100% finished, how do we get to play this game? We cannot wait. So Usamson, one of those. You can currently register for the beta at wastestonegames.com. You can click that button down below. It's just below the stream that says click here to register for the beta. And hopefully you'll be chosen to get a key in your email eventually. Although you can also stay to the end of the stream where we will be giving away a large multi-use key. But to put in the multi-use key, you do have to be registered for the beta to begin with. So you may as well go down, hit that register for beta button right now, and we will give away the key at the end of the stream. Be ready for it. You'll get to a screen that says, do you already have a Dawngate beta key? You'll hit yes, and you'll get ready to input the key we give away at the end of the stream, and that'll get 200 people into the beta. Buell is already complaining about why you don't have any gladiator stacks.
You know, answering questions is difficult, and also keeping tracks. Taxes my my multitasking abilities.
He said, "Oh, there you go, JK lost his stacks."
It's true.
Vex, smell stings.
I'll throw it down.
When it comes to live events like E3 or PAX, we'll be seeing Waystone Games at such events. So Shadows, we were at PAX this year. As far as E3 and whatnot are concerned, who knows? Maybe. We shall see. We shall see. I know we potentially will be traveling to different LAN parties and stuff in the future, but that stuff is all kind of unannounced of where we will be. But we definitely want to be there in the midst of things with the community members and you know, be there with you guys as you enjoy the game and be able to explain to you guys what's going on and how the game works and all that kind of stuff. I believe Gasty obviously went to PAX, and how was the experience there?
It was awesome. I met some really cool people. Got some great eyes in the game and some feedback. So it's something that we're definitely looking to continue doing.
Enemy binding has been destroyed.
In your opinion, what is the best build for Fenmore?
It's funny, internally as we're working the item rework, we joke that every item is a great Fenmore item, but it's kind of true. So, you know, any item, pick randomly.
Just buy any item. Just close your eyes.
That's great.
And buy any item, and you will win as Fenmore.
I mean, things that scale based on his
Confirmed by
passive.
Gatsby.
That's right. Things that scale with his passive work really well. Like Valor is a favorite item of mine on him. Because it scales naturally with his low health, and it gives him additional shielding, so it lets him do good jukes. Ambition is another great one for the same reason. I like getting a Fiddly on him because the health helps for his close range gameplay style.
Can you talk a little bit about possible changes coming to deal with how hard snowballing is right now?
Yeah, with the itemization rework, we're looking to retune everybody's damage output, basically lower damage output across the board a little bit on carries.
Fair enough. Oh my gosh, nice.
We got him.
Slain.
Got the kill. Worth. Have you guys looked into increasing the binding damage output? Right now, they seem not very safe in the early game.
So it's interesting, right? Our bindings actually do far more damage than Dota towers or LoL turrets, so they're actually very threatening. The reason that they feel less safe is due to some other factors. Our spells are very powerful. Things like Bastion, Blitz are very powerful. You can get defensive things generally a little bit easier, such as high armor items. Bindings do have 70% natural armor penetration, but you can still get a variety of powerful armor items. So it's something that we're keeping an eye on. Like, we want dives to be successful, but we don't want you to feel helpless. Like a tower should feel, you know, in the same way that a turret in Dota feels safe but not invincible. That's, you know, it should feel like a safe haven but not invincible. So we'll continue to look at it.
Kusaha is asking, do you think the less action we're seeing is because of the new map right now?
It's a combination of I am playing a very passive character right now, so I'm intentionally playing. I mean, we've gotten ganked 3 times, so by, you know, that's a decent amount of action. I'm just playing very passively generally.
Oh my gosh. You want to, but he couldn't get
An
you.
ally has been slain.
I thought he was going to dive, so I popped my ult.
Enemy has been slain.
Awkward.
An ally has been slain.
Vex.
Where the heck did Scott go? Scott's dead. What's new? He's usually dead. Why is the texture on the map? So White Smurf, as we've said multiple times today, this is a map that's completely work in progress. It probably won't be released for another month and a half to 2 months. However, we wanted to show it to you guys to get feedback and stuff. And also in the next patch, you guys will be able to create custom games with this map selectable so that you guys can get your hands on it rather than just see it from afar. You'll be able to play it yourselves. You can't queue into it, so you do have to find friends or hope that a lot of other people want to check out the kind of version 2 of the map and play on it and give us as much feedback as you can. Do you guys have any idea when the key giveaway will be? It will be at the end of the stream, so after this game. Games usually last between 25 and 35 minutes, I would say. Being someone that support main in League of Legends, what have you guys done to make the role more interactive or exciting and satisfying? So you want to talk about Tactician, Gasty?
So yeah, I think that we've actually done a really interesting thing with support. Before I talk about it, I'll just say that, for example, so support gets insta-locked in Dawn-Gate more than other roles, generally.
Sure.
Like, people come into the game and they're like, I'm playing support. And it's like, oh, okay. And that's like, that shows kind of that we've made it more enjoyable. So we have a role that changes, like we said, the roles change the way that you earn.
An ally has been slain. You have been
The roles change the way that that your character earns money, and it's exclusive, right? So if you take Hunter, you earn that's the jungler role, right? You earn money via killing neutral creeps, etc. Gladiators are our carry role; they get increased money for last hitting, etc. Supports are our support role, or Tactician is our support role. And the way that it functions is it does two things. One, you get money for harassing, a really significant amount of money for harassing, between 15 and 30 Vim. For damaging an enemy shaper. And then in addition, when a minion dies, you get increased proximity money just by being around it. So something that this does for us is actually really interesting. It allows for, if you play the role well, any of the 4 roles, right? Predator, Hunter, Tactician, or Gladiator, if you play any of the 4 roles well, you can get roughly the same amount of money. So a support in Dawn-Gate can get a full 6-item build and carry the game. They simply do it through a different gameplay
just
style.
As quickly as a Gladiator can, or just as quickly as a Predator can.
Right. Generally speaking, I mean, a Gladiator played optimally will earn more money, but a Tactician will still earn, a pretty close amount, and they'll be able to carry the game. So it's much more about how you want to play the game than your effectiveness at the game. Like, a Tactician can get a full 6-item build, be extremely effective, carry the game via supporting, right? By catching people out, by making plays, by defending their opponents. And they can get a bunch of fun items and so forth to do that with. They just do that through a different gameplay style, right? They do it through zone control, through harassment, etc.
Do you want to be part of that? Part of that party?
I guess. I'll try to be part of the party from the sideline here.
enemy killing spree.
Oh my gosh.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Jesse, you trash can.
Well, I thought that I was gonna like 2 shots got down, but then he backed up.
2 shiny Scott Town with your huge AoE damage Vex ulti. Hitting the single target rather than the 4 people grouped up right next to you.
The AoE damage isn't that much.
You would have murdered everyone.
The AoE damage is not actually that much on it.
Gasty. It's okay, Gasty.
The single target damage on Assault far more powerful than the AoE.
Gasty plus.
It's true.
Gasty plus. That was like a triple. That was a triple kill waiting to happen. And Gasty was like, "I'm gonna poke Zalgus a few times.
It's true. Poke him a few times. No problem.
Kill him.
No problem.
Honestly, I probably would have burned the spell just to catch up with those people because
I had nothing to burn.
Well, don't you get move speed?
If I dispel something.
Oh, it's only if you dispel something. I thought it was just passively. The groups was what I would have been hitting, but that's just me. That's just me. No big deal. No big deal. That was epic fail. Oh no! Shut down the stream. Go home and cry in your dreams. Icy Pan, get out of here. Will we be able to see your MMR in beta anytime soon? I don't believe so. I believe that's stuff we're keeping hidden. Correct?
For normal games, yeah.
Okay. The servers up for players at the moment are only staff. Only staff currently. Tyler G 2010. Do Shapers have unique passives like in League of Legends? So you want to kind of talk about how the passives work in our game?
So our characters don't really have passives currently. Instead, they have something that defines their resource. So the character I'm setting right now, for example, this character simply is a pure Shaper, which means he has no resource. He's purely cooldown limited. But a character like Freya, for example, you can see with that red bar, she has Rage. And so her
been slain.
passive, I guess, in the sense that it's not an activated ability, is less of a kind of unique thing, and it's more of just a descriptor of how your passive works, or how your resource works rather. So for a character like I'm playing, it's very simple. It's simply you have nothing. It's cooldown. Your boost there is that you're only cooldown limited. For a shaper like Freya, it talks about rage and how her rage interacts with her kit. For example, she gets increasing haste on every single attack. That also builds rage. So as she builds rage, she gets more and more haste, which is like her equivalent of a passive, right? Is stacking haste on basic attacks.
Enemy killing spree.
Will the game turn into a cosmetic game in time? I don't know what you mean by that, Prism. The game will look
Enemy
good.
is
I
relentless.
think. Is that? I don't know what you're asking. Are you asking if we'll have skins and stuff? Yes, we will have skins.
They must be doing this.
Dirt.
Will melee skills ever give the 30 bonus Vim or only auto
Your
attacks?
spirit well is under attack.
It's tricky because melee skills are technically ranged attacks that just have short ranged unless they're an attack override.
Really? So like a Freya Q.
A Freya Q is just a. I mean, if you mouse over it, it's the same thing. This says 1,000 range. A Freya Q just says like 250 range or whatever, right? It's technically a ranged ability.
But that
so
gives
it's melee.
that gives 15 Vim rather than 30 Vim.
Right, so it's something, TLDR, yes, it's simply we don't have the tech right now to really have a clean way of differentiating those abilities.
Okay.
We could do it based on like range, right, like when the damage is dealt, but that's a little bit trickier.
Could you just like make it like any spell that has a less than 200 cast range
Binding has been
counts as
destroyed.
a melee thing, or is that
We could do that, that's a little bit, it's just a little bit harder to explain.
okay?
I'll take off its legs.
Are you planning to make a map similar to the standard Dota 2 and League of Legends? So, we're not opposed to the idea of new maps or game modes in the future. However, right now, this is the map that we have chosen to go with after many iterations of different types of maps, 5v5, 6v6, 10v10, crazy iterations of teams and amounts of players and such. It's really interesting to see a lot of people that come in and say, oh, this is exactly like League of Legends, and then when we describe one of the outlying features that makes it unlike League of Legends is the fact that we have a 2-lane map, but then people then proceed to ask, will you make a map just like League of Legends? And it's like, what do you want? Damned if you do, damned if you don't at that point. But we do want Dawngate, this map, this 2v2 kind of map, to shine as brightly as possible and make it, because this is literally the Dawngate. Like, this is what makes the Dawngate different in its own unique MOBA. But in the future, we are not opposed to the idea of new maps and game modes and such.
Somewhere. Stay high, Legas.
So the map is actually going to eventually replace the current one in beta, right?
Yep.
That's pretty much the plan?
That is correct.
Yep.
This will completely replace the current one once this one is complete.
Will there be a Dominion type game mode like in League of Legends? Again, Tyler, we're just saying we're not opposed to the idea of other game modes in the future, but first this map has to be exquisite.
Vex, smell stings.
Any question about game modes, guys? I'm going to give the same exact answer. We're not opposed to it. However, this is the one map that we have right now that we're trying to make amazing. How many Shapers have global ultis? We only have one so far. That's Dibs. He's able to fly anywhere on the map. We're not opposed to the idea of more globals or anything like that.
Look at all that delightful
Farm. Glad stacks.
No, get out of here, Schlinky. It's mine.
Until Andy steals it all from you.
That's more important than Killa.
How much farm will Buell have at this point? Buell would probably have 180 farm at this point. Because he's a beast.
Looks like some shit is going down.
Has been slain.
Dial got blown up.
An ally has been slain.
Oh no.
Deuces?
No.
We might.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Andy. Here we go, Andy. It's Andy's time to shine.
Shoot.
He can do it.
Shoot Dale. There we go.
He can do it. This is Andy. This is him playing. Oh, he's dead.
Has been shut down.
That was such an epic build-up for such crap.
It's true.
That was terrible. We were all excited. We thought Andy was going to shine bright like a diamond, and then he exploded.
Your spirit spirit well is under
Come
attack.
on, Andy.
The enemy captured your spirit well.
Yeah.
Your binding has
Scamor
been
did die
destroyed.
first. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest.
Don't understand.
Oh, we took that command out, Richard. I'm sorry. There's no more trash can command.
Funny.
Home,
If only.
meat, juices.
It used to say Dark X62 is a
Your
trash can.
spirit well is under
doesn't anymore.
attack.
Is this unlocked? Not for a
Will there be a
time.
system where players can rate other players after the match? We're not quite sure how we want to deal with the kind of good behavior system such as
Enemy
that, but
captured
there's
your
definitely
spirit well.
ideas that we have. So,
Somewhere.
not sure yet. Will there be a courier like in Dota 2? No, there's no courier in the game, Glober. You do have the ability to just simply recall by pressing the
Enemy
B key.
binding will
And the reason for that was
respawn
we wanted there to be a counterbalancing, and we intentionally are trying to have a counterbalancing aspect where players who are in a better position are generally have more money and can buy more, and having to force them to leave lane and leave their kind of source of income behind to spend it allows for the behind person to have a chance of a little bit of a reprieve to catch up. So it was an
team
intentional
has
decision
captured
in
a
terms of
spirit
gameplay,
well.
balancing,
An
allowing there to be a little bit of rubber
enemy binding
banding.
has respawned.
Was the reason behind not using a courier.
We always try to make the servers go well, so there will be nearly no lag. Of course, we're never gonna intentionally make the servers be bad. I think that would be a very, very poor business practice. We'll always try to make the servers be as lag-free and never go down as possible. I don't think we have any plans to be like, oh my God, it's 6 p.m. on a Saturday. Bring the servers down. It's always something we want to. It just makes a good experience for the players. And we're all about good experiences for players. Is there a spectator mode in this game? Not yet, Kimmy's, but it's something we would like to implement in the future.
Your team has captured a spirit well.
Will there ever be Battletoads? No. Let's see. We have a rune system for out-of-game stat bonuses. So right now we have perks and loadouts. Oh no.
Wow, that hurt.
Well, now you have a chance to talk about perks and loadouts.
An ally has been
What are our
slain.
plans for the future of perks and loadouts? Gasty.
So they will be customizable. For people who don't know,
Enemy is relentless.
your loadout is something that you select in Shaper Selection before going into the game that basically slots a passive onto your character. So somebody asked about passives earlier. So having large, powerful effects, right, is something that the loadout system does. So it can be just stats if you want, but a lot of them can be full-on interesting passives, right? Like if, get shields out of combat, or move faster through brush, or whatever, right?
Binding is under attack.
Something that you traditionally see as a heavy passive ability, you can augment onto your character and kind of customize your character by getting a passive and then slotting it onto your character before the game is done. So that type of gameplay is something that we're looking to expand upon. Right now, you can only choose from a few of them, kind of preset selections. We're looking to expand that content pretty significantly, have a lot of it, and let players assemble it themselves.
Really?
What is the closest equivalent to Teemo? I guess Dibs would be the closest equivalent to Teemo, a tiny little adorable bastard.
Binding is under attack.
Will loadouts be a Destiny sync?
Somewhere.
So I can give a little bit of information on that, but not too much. It's something that we're going to be revealing that whole system pretty soon, but you will unlock them with Destiny. We've talked about that on the monetization stream as being one of the things that's going to work. However, we do not want it to gate competitive progress. So you will always have some preset ones, that we give you for free off the start, which is just as, gives you just as much kind of versatility and gameplay power as some of the other ones as an initial starting set. And then in addition to that, we have some other systems that I can't go into detail yet, but that will make them very, very accessible.
Okay. Are you doing something like ranked in League of Legends? Liked one. Of course, we want to do some ranked system. It's just being very early beta. It's something that'll just take time to get out there, and it's not in the game just yet. Someone asked about a beta key. We'll be doing a large beta key at the end of the stream, so stick around to the end of this game. We'll give away a beta key for you guys. You planning to do something for wards and vision in general, like a way to counter ward? Yeah, we're thinking of ideas of how we want to implement counter warding into Dawngate. Currently, every Shaper has one ward available on a 3-minute cooldown, bound by default to the F key. So no one Shaper is responsible for all the warding on the map. It's every Shaper is responsible. They have to carry their weight equally and place their ward when it's off cooldown and in good positions and stuff. So there's only a maximum of 5 wards out at a time per team.
Bones, meat, juices.
Your spirit well is under attack.
We always try to show off fan art and whatnot on our Facebook and Twitter and stuff, Shadows. We don't have like a community roundup or whatever league had at one point with Mikasar.
Well.
Just yet. Hey, maybe it's something we could do in the future, but not right now. What do you think of a loadout that increases the timeout time on Gladiator stacks? Would you ever implement something like that? Asked Mars.
Juices?
Or is that too role specific or what?
That's tricky. We probably wouldn't do something like that because it's kind of like it's difficult to articulate, but I feel like it's kind of like a trap. Like you can take Gladiator stacks and chain it if you're just good enough, right? So now that would be the only example of something where we're saying if you're not good enough to do the mechanic, here's something that you can take instead to kind of augment that, but you're sacrificing raw gameplay power to do that, and that seems like a strange decision to be making people have.
Let's see. We'd be able to report a player for bad behavior at the end of every match. So we don't have a report system in the game just yet, but it's something we want to implement eventually. And how it will be implemented is still up in the air. So I can't quite answer that question. Was Renzo based on Alex Louis Armstrong? Yes, he was. Was anyone else based on something, or are they completely original?
Under attack.
I don't know. Is there any other Shaper that's particularly based off something? I feel like Renzo is the most
Michaela
Has been destroyed.
I suppose. Michaela is based on the concept of a Mistborn.
of a Mistborn. What's that from?
From a book called Mistborn.
Okay, I had no idea.
Your binding is under attack.
Glober, will the community guides be supported like in Dota? We absolutely love the guide system that Dota has implemented, where it's like easily accessible in the client. How we do it, or if we will do it in the future, is completely still up in the air.
Your binding is under attack.
Could be the deciding fight right here. And your Freya is way in the back. Are you proxying? Were you proxying?
Yeah, proxy.
Alright, so he proxied that bottom wave for a few waves, it looks like. The enemy team is kind of standing around in the base, seeing if they can do anything. Oh, he's proxying again. They're letting him proxy, so he's going to keep doing so. Nice harass on the polymorph. You got to be careful of that binding, though. It could be pretty scary. And now they're coming. Oh, no. A few of them are coming for you, Scott. A few of them.
So you can see this is an example of these bindings have taken persistent damage and they're not regenning, right? So normally in a push against the Guardian, you do a little bit of damage and he just regens it. This is an example of how it sort of helps against Snowball or helped against Turtling, because they've made persistent progress that we can't like make up here, right? So that push, while it didn't seem super effective, was generally decently effective at taking.
Because together they kind of took like a quarter of the health bar of kind of the total Guardian total health.
That was about as ineffective as a push as you could possibly have. Like we did a pretty good job splitting them off to one side. So
Scott was also proxying the wave bottom, so they had no minions down bottom. So you guys had some good things going for you. So.
Right, like we were doing some intentional things there to try to.
Oh no, Kevin.
Not enough.
Kevin playing the Kendra. What a tryhard.
Enemy double kill.
That's double kill for Kevin. So they're gonna at least be able to take these two bindings down. I don't think they'll be able to finish it.
With 3 of us up, I don't think they'll be able to either.
But as the bindings go down, they start spawning the goats of death. So you'll see the goats in the bottom lane now will start spawning, and if they get that top binding down, they'll start spawning in the top lane. And the goats are very, very strong kind of ranged minions that auto path down the lane, and they deal very significant damage. So now they have a goat in each lane, which is obviously temp stuff. Goats of death are coming now. They're marching down the lane towards your Guardian, ready to destroy you. We remove the visible tower range, or is that something that'll stay in the game?
This is something that'll stay, but it will art it up.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
Yeah, there definitely is, like, in the game now, there is, you can clearly see where the range of the bindings are. It's not as standout as it is now, as you see on this map, but there is still, like, a, it's kind of just worked into the game. Like, you can tell where the binding attack radius is without having to think about it too hard. There's the goats. Oh my god, the goats are here. Game might be over, Gasty. Can you defend against goats?
Yeah, we can defend against goats.
I don't know if you can. Look at this goat. Look at that thing. I like how it kicks its front hooves and fireballs fly out.
You know, that's what happens when I make a temporary thing.
The goats!
So to be clear, the goats are completely temporary because I randomly picked an asset to use as the goat.
Oh my god, please keep goats. Death goats. Everyone wants to keep the goats, Gasty. You started a look at it just kick fireballs out of its hooves. I love it.
Meat.
Our
Juices.
team's trying to
Classic
do
goat.
Parasite while I defend the base here. We'll see if that actually is successful for them. Oh, we did get it. Alright. Now if I can just defend against these goats.
And you get a kill out of it too.
No problem.
The goat hits like a truck.
Smells.
Like how when it dies it just stands there.
So this is like now you really need somebody defending against these goats, otherwise they'll really take your guardian to Frown Town.
Take your guardian to Frown Down. Damn it, Gasty. Yeah, see, they're going to start chunking the guardian. Oh, he's already down to half of 1 bar. And you have 2 more waves of goats coming in. Oh my god. This is danger zone right now.
Well, we only have to hold out for
The spirit well.
another couple minutes. The guardian regen. As long as we didn't lose the health bar, we're good.
Stopping the ghost? Are you doing it?
Yeah, no
He's
problem.
doing it. He's effectively stopping the goats. And at the same time, he's racking up gladiator.
Yeah, I'm getting tons of farm for this.
Yeah,
So
you've been at max stacks for a while. Actually, you're going to lose stacks unless you... Yeah, there you go.
no problem. Please.
Oh
Don't
god,
worry
I had
about
no
it.
faith. So this is where gladiators honestly do really well if they're able to turtle like this, because he's been a max stacks for a long time. He may lose it. He may lose it. Oh, he lost
The
it.
creep stole my kill.
You're terrible.
The
Gas
creep
is terrible.
stole it.
Close the dawn gate. Gasty's the worst.
But now I am rich, so now I have like infinite dollars.
That's true.
After holding for like 3 minutes, I have like $1 billion.
He's got 5.2k Vim right now. Just buy all of it. Buy more destructions. Oh, we
The
get it.
spirit well
Okay.
is under attack.
That works.
Juices.
Actually,
You should buy power.
no.
Why not?
Because I want 2 things at a time.
Get that control though.
Nah,
That control would be so good.
I don't need control.
Ruin fate, please. Get insight/fate. What are you getting? What are you gonna buy with that?
I'm getting ruin and fate.
Okay. I'll allow it. Okay, so now you are late game Vex. And the problem with the teams is you have a late game Vex and they do not have a late game Vex. That is the biggest difference.
That's true. So
in power.
our team was able to do a really good thing there. So while I held the waves, which got me a ton of money, our team both took Parasite, which gave us this buff is giving us the throughput we need to prevent them from holding out the game, which is giving us enough time for me to farm. And then in addition to that, we got a couple kills because they just like derped around. I don't know what they were doing. They should have just killed us at Parasite, but they didn't. So that's really given us the time we need to start getting back into this. Like normally they could have just killed us at Parasite 5v4 and then won the game, but I wasn't watching what happened, but they derped up somehow. So now we're back into this because these 2 bindings will respawn soon, and then
You were too busy goat farming.
and if we don't lose right here,
This is the fight. This is it. They're gonna have goats. I'd honestly buy like another clarity right now.
I cannot.
You can't?
However, I can buy.
You can buy clarity?
Respawn soon.
Oh my god. Now you can't buy clarity.
This
You
is-
could have.
This is more important to me.
Let's do it.
Throughput. We just need to
throughput.
initiate instead of letting them initiate on
Your
us.
binding will respawn soon.
Basically what you're saying is Zyrol SC needs to go in.
I wouldn't say that, but he's doing it.
Hey, listen to me. Oh my god, the Gasado. Is that Kevin Lee?
Ow.
Is that Gasado Lee? Is he one of the
Because
best players?
people left me alone. If Kendra jumps on me by herself, her ultimate will do 1,000,000 damage. I need a buddy. I need a buddy to split damage with.
Like that death recap is just Kendra and a single Strider.
Your binding
You know, best Strider
Strider's 130. He was just like,
punched me once, and then that was it. I couldn't handle that Strider punch.
been slain.
is that game? No, wait, what's happening? Your team is still fighting.
Well, these bindings respawned. We held out just long enough for those to respawn.
Oh my god, is this game still going on?
It'll be hard to to stop
Is that
this,
death via
this
zombie?
assault of goats.
Oh god, it's the goat army! Oh god, the goats! There's too many goats! That might be GG. Oh, he's got this. Get home guard boots.
If I can, I'm up.
You got this. Oh my god, this is so dangerous.
An enemy has been shut down.
Look at that ulti. Oh my god, that one Strider down there. Get that one Strider!
You get that Strider.
Oh my god! Is that the dog get? Is this the dog get?
No problem, guys. No problem.
Oh my god.
We're not dead. We got this.
Look at that Guardian health. What is he at? Like 400 health?
We got this.
Oh my god.
Perfectly planned. Why'd you make me buy another clarity, Pluto? I did this because you told me to, and now everything's ruined.
Well, you didn't even buy it for that last fight. You would have won. You didn't have it. You bought it while you were dead, dum-dum. Do you have something in your mouth? What are you doing?
Okay, so
I'm starting to sweat profusely.
what do I need? I need to sell this clarity. This is all your fault. I don't want this.
You bought it while you were dead, Gasty. You
I don't
didn't
want
buy
it.
it before
I don't
the
want
fight.
it, Pluto. Don't
You were
want
like,
it.
I would
Don't
rather,
want it.
I would rather
It's your
have
fault.
the
I blame you.
flask of Moxie.
Nope.
I need raw throughput.
And then I needed. Well, then I died. Oh, that's right. That's what I was gonna do. Mars was right. Mars in chat. He told
What'd
me. He revealed my error.
Your
Okay.
spirit
Oh,
I need,
Mars is a chat?
I need this.
The enemy captured your spirit well.
Not Mars. Other
Oh, Mars Cataracts. I thought you meant Crife. Okay.
Somewhere.
So what do you have now? You don't have Ruin. You still don't have Ruin. What a scrub. Oh my gosh. Why would you buy that clarity?
I know. Why would I buy that clarity?
You bought it. You
if
bought
only
it
my
while you were dead.
my coach told me.
You
told
bought
me
it while
the
you
right
were dead.
decision.
Your
You
team
fought that
has
last fight
captured
with a
spirit
flask of
well.
Moxie and not an extra clarity, like I told you to. I coached you to buy the clarity, sir, and you said I'd rather buy the flask of Moxie because we're all throughput.
All right, we need to not throw right here. That's what needs to happen.
This is the intense moment.
We need Scott Moore to not be number one thrower in a.
Oh, Scott Moore, where are you going? Scott Moore, where are you going?
Alright, we gotta. They're chasing Scott and they're split. We gotta at least kill somebody when Scott dies.
Oh my God.
Please kill her. Please stun
You need
her.
to attack.
Please do something to her.
Oh
Oh.
my God. You need to attack more.
Has been slain.
Hey, Scott, your little trek into Spirit Well land is not proving well for your team.
Learn from this.
Alright, so I feel like that could have gone better.
It could have. Let's see what the Guardians do. They have Goat Squad? Team Goat Squad. Look at that deflect on all the goats. Look at the goats standing there all pompously. Like, yeah, we did this. We're the shit. Those goats are assholes. So good game. Scott Moore throwing like he usually does. No big deal.
I wasn't doing my team any favors there either, but you know.
But that's it. That was the new map of Dawngate. So we are going to do a multi-use key right now. So let's do something. Some large key.
Large key.
Yeah, let's see.
So starting on Thursday, I believe that's correct.
Next patch.
Yes. So starting with the next patch, we will be making it so that in the community, you guys can create custom games on that map. I encourage you guys to make games on that map and custom games, play it, give us your feedback, post on forums, post on Reddit. Even if we don't respond to all the forum posts, we will be reading them all. So it's exceedingly useful. It's why we're doing it this early, is to get your guys' feedback, tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you wish were different, etc. And it's early enough that we can incorporate that feedback. We can and will make changes based on the community's feedback. So please play it. Let us know. Let us know what's up. We're putting in the multi-use key right now. So
this is going to be a 200 use beta key, guys. So go to wastelandgames.com, register for the beta, get to the stage where it says, do you have a Dawngate beta key? Hit yes, and the key that's about to appear above our heads is for 200 uses. So one key that 200 people can type in and get into the beta with. So are you guys ready? Are you guys hyped? Are you guys stoked?
What's happening? Here it comes.
Are you guys goat ready? Here we go.
Are we doing it? Is it happening?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 200 use key.
Boom. There it is, right there. So, if you just got into the beta, welcome to the beta. Please have a good time. And recognize that it's very early. This is closed beta, and this is a true closed beta, as we like to call it, right? The game is not feature complete, right? We are bringing it to you guys really, really early so that we can get feedback and make it as good as it can be when we do finally go live, right? Mm-hmm. So please play it. Recognize it's incomplete, but we're showing you guys really early content so that you guys can give us feedback on it. So be understanding of that aspect of it. Give us your feedback. Enjoy the game. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. Try the new map.
The map is not done. You know, that we want to stress that. Like, we are giving this to you guys as early as we possibly can to get the maximum amount of feedback and the maximum amount of polish that we can put on it before it goes live, right?
Right, for sure.
It's a very interesting kind of developmental process for us. It's not we have tested it for months. It's not we've tested it for months and months and months. We think it's perfect. Have it. It's we've tested it for a few months. We think it's pretty good. You guys help us make it perfect.
Yep, for sure. So, and also if you guys missed it and you want to see kind of a breakdown of the differences between the current map and the map that we played on today, you can go to YouTube, you can go to our Twitch channel. There's a VOD from a couple weeks back where Dale, our map designer, and myself go over our goals for the new map, the differences between the live map and the current map that you just saw played on. So that'll give you an idea of kind of where we're coming from, right? What are the problems we're trying to address, what we think is addressing them. So if you haven't seen that, I encourage you guys to watch that so you kind of have a baseline of where we're coming from, and then try it out, play the game, and have a delightful time in the realm of the Dawn Gate. So.
So yeah, a few more questions if you guys like to ask, or if you guys just want to celebrate that you got beta keys, that works too. It is completely up to you. Do you feel like your map you're playing on currently addresses the issue where if a jungler gets countered, he is effectively taken out of the game for a while?
Yes, so that's one of the things that we were attempting to solve with the current map. One of the reasons we feel that sentiment exists on live is because if you steal a buff camp from an enemy jungler, they get significantly far behind because a disproportionately large amount of experience lives on the buff camps. In the new map, we've reduced the total number of small camps and increased their relative worth significantly. So that will just remind me of something important.
What? That you want to talk about, or that you?
I'm thinking. Hold. Okay, so funny story, which I'm going to try to get resolved immediately. But I'm pretty sure our new jungle tuning is actually not going to be live on Thursday currently. So
next patch.
Or next patch, whenever that may be. So I'll investigate that. But more to that to come. But theoretically, with our new jungle tuning in place, then it will be less difficult for yes. So it should
a behind jungler.
Yeah, it'll be less difficult for behind jungler to get back in. You should be able to farm the small camps to keep up because they'll be worth more. I need to make sure that tuning is in.
Well, there you go. We'll let you get to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/thedawngate. Congrats to, I'm assuming, probably the 200 of you or thereabouts that got in using this beta key. Is it still working, guys? Is it still up there? Let me know. Will you raise the roof? You can type in dongers, and it'll raise the roof. Watch this. Dongers. Boom. It's going to be me and Lauren Hetu raising the roof. No big deal, assuming Zambot actually pays attention to it. But yeah, got it. Thanks. Download. Yeah, if you're downloading it, that means you're in the beta. The beta will be available this weekend, more than likely, Thursday through Sunday, although we do announce hard times on Wednesday. We say exactly when it'll be live and when it'll go down. But stay tuned to our Twitter, twitter.com/thedawngate, facebook.com/thedawngate. And until tomorrow at 11 a.m. PDT is our community catch-up, where Andy will be sitting down with Gasty again.
Yes, I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow.
One map fun time.
If you guys have any questions related to the video game,
jot it down. Put it in your dream journal. It's less gameplay. There'll probably be no gameplay and more just general Q&A, general talk about what we're trying to accomplish, all that kind of stuff.
Yep, it'll be kind of a deeper dive for those interested in that into kind of some more map-related topics, some more systemic-related issues related to the game and what we're looking to do to solve it. So if you have any questions, concerns, comments, join us tomorrow morning. It'll be at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, going from 11 to 12. We won't be streaming gameplay. It'll just kind of be, a friendly chat between the community and us, the development team. I'll be on to talk to you guys, answer questions, and,
there you go.
have a party.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Follow the stream. Hit that follow button. It really helps us out a lot, and you'll get updates of whenever we go live. Patrick Morrison saying a fireside chat with Gasty.
That's right.
You guys are going to be in your smoking jackets with your legs crossed and a giant lazy boy drinking a glass of cognac.
Only the most sophisticated chat for our Wednesday mornings.
It'll be beautiful. You have to end every question with, hey, chap. It's going to be beautiful. But tune in then. Till then, take care. I'm Brad Pluto Remy, the Assistant Community Manager. This is Alex Gasty-Hetu, Lead System Designer. And we'll see you in the morning at 11 a.m. PDT for a Community Catch-Up.
Goodbye, friends.
I muted you way before you said all that.
Oh.
Peace!